So when you're recording, do you just do one long recording and not like if you make a mistake, then you'll go back and just re-say that as you're actually going over, as you're going in that same clip, or do you stop the recording and then restart?
No, I stop and do multiple
Okay.
clips. I don't like doing anything in one long recording, even an interview like what we're doing here. If this was me doing this, you're recording with you, and I was saving it on my machine. At some point, after about 10 minutes, I would say, all right, Brody, I'm going to pause. I'd cut it. I'd start it again because I learned a long time ago when you do everything in one long clip, if something goes bad.
Yeah.
Right now, if something happened to that file you're recording, we just lost the last 1 hour and 41 minutes.
That's a fair point. Maybe I should change what I do.
Where if you split it up into about 10 minutes, if there's ever a problem with one of those files for whatever reason, you lost that 10-minute section. And if your guest doesn't mind going back and recording that 10 minutes, again, that's fine. But when you get to the end of 2 hours and then realize, I forgot to hit the start button, which happens a lot recording. I've done it many times, and I know it happens to other people.
That's why I took your advice you said a few months back, have your file manager open when you record a video.
Yes, until you see that file created, don't start talking.
Yep.
Right? Because you will get to the end of that 2-hour interview and realize you never recorded anything. And then you got to ask your guests, you have another 2 hours?
Yeah. I do definitely to make sure that I take breaks, because when I'm recording my regular videos, every time I take a pause, I stop the clip. So for my regular stuff, I do heavily make use of clips. Like I have a 10-minute video, there might be 20 clips in there because I'm not very good at stringing together a sentence. You can probably tell from this. I'm better when I'm talking to someone, but when I'm just doing a video, sometimes I will get to a point where I'm like, I have no idea what I'm going to say next and just stop. And this is usually after like 10 or 15 seconds.
Right. Yeah, I would say if I'm doing like a 10-minute video, I'm going to have, I don't know, 6 to 12 different clips.
Yeah, okay.
Think about it in paragraphs. I typically, give one thought, and I know I'm going to move on to something. I could do it all in one clip, but I'll pause the recording, start again.
And the nice thing about pausing the recording is you spend way less time, you make way less mistakes with leaving stuff in, because if you just have like one long clip, maybe you'll accidentally skip over a bit and not cut that out and then repeat yourself twice. Whereas if they're distinct clips, it's a bit easier to notice those problems.
Yeah, if you break it down into shorter clips too, if you make some kind of weird mistake or you stumble through some word and you want to say it again, then you got this weird situation where you got to splice 2 different sentences together to try to fix the mistake you made. Well, if you only recorded 2 minutes, right? Just go back and record that 2 minutes again. Or if you recorded a 20-minute clip, you're not going to go back and re-record 20 minutes. You're just going to fix it in editing. But when you take it in smaller chunks, when you make a mistake, re-recording that clip is always the best option rather than trying to edit it.
The only time I try to do one long video is when I'm doing like the vloggy stuff outdoors.
Oh yeah, like anytime I'm doing any kind of ramble.
Yeah, the rambles obviously make sense like that, unless you just completely forget. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say there's no reason to even breaking that up or even editing that stuff. Now that's typically the kind of stuff I won't edit again unless there's some weird pause or something. But I'm typically not worried about fixing mistakes or anything and that kind of stuff.
Or like a truck drives by and honks their horn.
Oh yeah. Or the other day, I think I had one where a dog was barking or something, going crazy.
Yeah, I've definitely had that before.
Well, that makes those videos more real.
Well, there was one I did a few months back where I was recording outside and there was a big gust of wind and it like knocked over something onto my fence. I like turned around during the middle of the recording. What was that?
Every now and then we'll get the neighbor's lawnmower picking up. There was a period about a month ago where for 2 days I did not record because I knew it was going to pick up the roofers working on the roof on the next door neighbor's house, because they were using the nail gun, and it was. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take a couple of days off from recording, because I didn't want people. What the hell is that? Gunshots? What's going on there?